Hey, I'm James Burnham. I am doing a react video where I see a video I've never seen before and I give you my live reaction. This video is students get college applications judged in person. Man, I don't know if I'd have wanted my college application judged in front of me. My grades weren't that good. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to these kids as they see a panel discussing why they shouldn't, why they should or should not, how do I say that? Be accepted into this program. All right, so here we go. We're fascinated with these shows, right? We've got American Idol, we've got The Voice, we've got The X Factor, America's Got Talent, right? All these things where we get to judge people, and here we now get to do it for college applications. Like, it's not scary enough to try to get into college and hear the crap that people are gonna say about you, this kid that's just like, please let me in, I wanna go to college, right? It's funny. They gotta sit and listen as they get accepted or rejected. This kid's a jock, the first one, Kobe, that we're about to see. Sylvia Juarez and Corey Berry are judging him. He's got a GPA of 3.5.
He has taken some AP classes, but knowing the district that he's from in his high school, I would encourage more. He is taking some Long Beach community courses. That's fantastic.
The first thing that I noticed is his sneaker head is what he calls himself. I'm not familiar with all the new terms with the kids, but I assume it's a sneaker business online. It's a start, but I think it has a lot of growth.
The PSAT score that I see is a 1090.
It is a solid score, but there is room for improvement.
Would encourage for him to look at taking a test prep.
He does have time. He's only a junior. I always suggest doing some community service.
I'm not sure if community service might fit, where he might have more of an entrepreneurial spirit. And I know he's an athlete, which takes a lot of time. If he is being pursued by different colleges or universities, that's a whole nother level of commitment that needs to be shown, because that doesn't reflect here.
Wow. So this kid is sitting, listening with headphones to this commentary about him, right? And honestly, the whole entrance exam thing, the way they analyze stuff, HR, employment stuff, I have a deep dislike for the process. I think it is woefully inadequate for measuring the capability and the talent of these kids coming out. When you look at grades, and they just have these kind of standards that they throw out that they think, oh, she said specifically, knowing the district that he came from, and he, you know, and the education system in that district, well, he needs to take more AP credits. So what she's saying is he came from a crappy district that doesn't do well with their education, right? That's the underhand thing. And he hears this, and then he's thinking to himself, what crap, I got a bad education? And then they're like, yeah, his SAT score is okay, but it could be better. Well, he's a junior, you know, he's got more to learn. Like, rather than looking at it from a place of building, this is a thing that they're looking at it from a place of exclusion. How do I cut this kid out? And to me, this is the antithesis of education. This is not about helping this child learn and grow. This is about making them feel like you're lucky to get in here and we're giving you this opportunity. It's this exclusionary elitism that I just fucking hate, honestly. I got into my first degree as an undergrad with a 2.0, a little bit above a 2.0, I think. I pulled off, I worked really hard and got some better grades in my last semester. But I was a terrible, terrible student in high school. And people looking at me with these measuring sticks were calling me too dumb to get into college. They were saying all kinds of things about me. I got on academic scholarship. I got 2 master's degrees. And I was at the top of my program. So that from a guy that at this kid's age, I was thinking I was so dumb, I was just begging for anybody to take me. And that's what this system does. Anyway, that's my rant on this.
I love the authenticity, starting off with being invited by, I believe it was his father, to consider law enforcement, and discovered that that wasn't for him.
He took that advice from his father, but he listened to himself and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna go this way instead of that way that my dad suggested.
What was the most challenging buy or sell?
For the sneakerheads out there, a pair of Union 4 Guava Ice, and one of my best friends wanted them off of me, and I didn't want to sell them, so it was hard to like debate a price with him because like he's also my friend.
Admissions officers, are you ready to make your final decision?
We're ready.
Yes.
Accepted.
Waitlisted. We want to make sure that we strengthen the GPA.
He's young. I know that he's gonna go places.
I'm glad that I got to hear what they were saying about me. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And I wanted to know, is there anything I could do to make my application stand out?
Just show who you are. Try to show something unique about yourself.
Give me a little bit more about what you've gained and how you're going to use it in the future.
Hi, my name's Koda Beshin.
Okay, so at the end, right, they come in and they talk to him about what to do. He's a junior. He got waitlisted and accepted, and so that's a pretty decent thing, right? He's like, okay, I can accept that, and he's like, what do I need to do to get better? And they're like, increase your GPA. Well, his GPA is a 3.5. Most of the people being accepted are 3.8. Honestly, grades drive me nuts down here. The ratio of good grades is not actually indicative of the education levels of these kids. We are so obsessed with an score of, F to A that we worry about that, and we are not actually looking at how do we get this kid to really love learning, which is a concept that is completely missed in our programs at school. It is about how do I get a good enough grade in this moment to move to the next space and get a good enough grade to move to the next space, and how can I regurgitate this crap that I have to learn to dump on this test and never have to deal with it again because I hate this. I know that because I was that mentality when I was in school. I had no interest. There were things that excited me when I had a really good teacher that engaged me and I found very, very thrilling as I dove into it. But the process of the grading and how it's done and the way that we, kids nowadays get all this homework and they're just inundated with it, and they're trying to get these high grades to get into the elite colleges that they want to go to, because it's all about these superficial measurements from people who don't know you so that they can determine whether or not they can let you into their program. Because you know what they're worried about? Colleges are worried about you not graduating, because then it hurts the quality of their school, which then hurts the quality of the students that get there. And so everybody's trying to climb this ladder to success that actually doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And I wish we could just let it go. Let it go.
Hi, my name's
This guy's
Koda
name's
Beshin.
Koda Beckin.
I think I'm here to have professors judge my
He doesn't even say anything.
He has a really good GPA, 3.46. He has a language course, Hawaiian language course. I'm very pleased with his transcript.
Semester 1 sometimes seems to be a little challenging in some classes. We see that financial literacy and the democracy course in the first semesters were a little challenging. The score was 1220.
So 1220 is good. Nationally, I think it's in the 78th percentile or so. So I think he did pretty well.
The more competitive universities might have that on the lower end of their profile.
Like his resume, he has a passion, it seems, for the arts. Could provide a little bit more detail, I think. But overall, I think he has the right idea. He's on the right path.
I think positive, I can see that he's really interested in the creative aspect of the field. He has a different type of creativity, because not only is he modeling, but he's also doing a variety of things where he has to be present in terms of his mind and the way that what he wants to kind of demonstrate.
Wow. Okay, so hang on. This is interesting, right? Literally seconds ago before we judge this other kid and they're like, oh, he only has a 3.5. Most people are needing a 3.8. Now this kid shows up, he's got a 3.46 and they're like, wow, really good GPA. What? Right? It's interesting to me. And the responses, what they're saying about this kid is all very positive. Like the way they're analyzing and stuff, as the kid is hearing, he's smiling, he's feeling good. He's like, wow, they're saying nice things about me. And yet the other kid had a better GPA. His SAT was lower, but it was still strong. It was just kind of the reverse mirror of this. And they were much more critical on him. And so it shows how completely arbitrary this system is of analyzing our students. Now they have things in place, right? But there's lots of fudge room to get in. And I know it's arbitrary because I got into an MBA program that I had no business being in with my academic score on my GMAT. My score was a 550. And if you know anything about GMAT scores, that's really low. It was the bare minimum acceptable score to get into a good college, and people don't get into good colleges with that score. I was lucky that I did. Truly, I was lucky. And I think that if you can be charming like this kid is, well, maybe you get to win a little niceness and not get this criticism that the other kid got, who I think was equally a strong candidate. Now they're going to analyze his essay.
I see you guys are smiling a little bit. Could you tell me why you guys are smiling?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about if I tell him something he doesn't want to hear, what his reaction is going to be. So through his writing, I think he does a great job in giving us, kind of a glimpse to who he used to be as a child or as he was younger.
Corey, could you read the first line of the essay?
Sure. It says, I punched the referee who told me I was out. It's about rejection, and it's about being told no and overcoming that. He was 7 years old when he punched the referee. That's a long time ago. It's not who he is now.
Oh my gosh. And the woman analyzing says, I'm a little bit scared to say what I would say that if it's negative, how he'll react. He's telling a story when he was 7 years old and he punched a referee. This is her response. Come on. Makes me sick. This kid, he's like, I don't know, he's 16, 17 years old, a happy, smiley kid sitting there. He's not a 7-year-old that's going to throw down and punch somebody because he gets rejected from college. But these are the types of things that when you get into a space where you're judging someone and you're being paid to judge them and being paid to eliminate them to get the best, we start to get really weird in our critical nature and how we evaluate. I have strong disagreements with how we find people that we, like and are acceptable. And I get that we put systems in place because there needs to be some system that allows us to move through it quickly and everything. We can't personally get involved with every little kid, that applies to our school or whatever. I know you can't do that. So this is the result, but I just think there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way that we educate our people and allow them to feel lifted versus this elimination type thing that makes you diminish yourself, right? Because education's a different thing. I don't believe that I want to eliminate anyone from the opportunity to further educate themselves, ever. Anybody that wants to gain further education, let's give it to them. I don't care if your grades are Fs. If you want to persist in learning, here you go. Learn, because you do. Yeah, so I got issues with our whole system of learning and
Well, Coda, my
the elitism
question
of
is
it.
really simple. How do you take rejection now?
Now I see rejection not as an attack, not as something that's rude or demeaning to me, and I just accept it and I don't take it personally, and I'm able to just keep smiling and not beat myself up about it.
This kid's a charmer. He knows what to say, right?
waitlisted. I think he missed some opportunities to be able to define himself within the context of the region that he's from.
Accepted.
So,
I think he's very likable. Just seeing what he wrote on paper, I immediately liked him.
I'm so surprised. For some reason, I didn't think my grades were that good. They really liked how I was just brutally honest about myself and just like,
Hi.
hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I did have a mama moment. I was like, oh, no, he didn't go there and talk about assaulting
Yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah.
But it quickly turned.
Did you get in trouble when you?
I remember it so vividly. It's like a core memory for me. It was my first time ever going to the principal's office. I was so scared.
Ooh, snap, that's big time.
I don't like that female person because she's so obsessed with his little violent act at the age of 7. We have a world of women that are teaching little boys that any sort of physical interaction is not good. I don't believe in solving problems with violence, but I do understand that when boys get mad and they're little and they're dealing with emotions, physical aggression can be a part of it. Teaching them how to harness that and use it is not the same as shaming them for having had an episode and an outbreak where they did that. And really what she's doing is just like still holding on to this thing. That's shame. I hate that. This application process into our education systems in North America, I think shows to me some real problems with how we evaluate the humanity of our children. There is students trying to get into college, and it's interesting to see, right? These kids, they're waiting, they're excited, they're hopeful, they're listening, they're wanting to get in, they're wanting to be accepted, and then they see the way they're evaluated and how they hear that what happens to them will influence how they respond, right? The one kid with a 3.48 went in saying, oh my gosh, I thought my grades were terrible, and they told him their grades were good. The other kid that went in with a 3.5, he was told that his grades weren't good enough. So that kid's gonna walk away and be like, I gotta work harder. He's gonna be this kid's gonna walk away and be like, wow, I'm killing it. And it's an interesting thing, right? How you take away from that. And I think it's very, very unpredictable, inaccurate, and insufficient to the task of building the future minds of our kids. I have a problem with what we're doing in the academic world because we know better, we have solutions out there that are better, and we refuse to change them because we have a system in place that has power structures that would be threatened if we change. And that's where the problem is in this evaluation that I see. So, hope you like it. That's my interpretation. Stick around, I got another video coming up. I react to The Bachelor. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm James Burnham. Thanks for joining me.